Hey everyone, Ben here, and today we're back in the Aston Martin for a top split GT4 challenge session at the Red Bull Ring. But before we get started, a quick thanks to everyone who signed up as a channel member. You're all proudly featured on my livery today, and a special thanks to David Long, Harold Arts and Reese Smith. Right then, we are underway from the rolling start. We're starting in P11, so right in the mid-pack, and already I've got Leon Schroeder alongside me. He started in 12th. He may very well fancy a move straight up into 11th, into T1. He's around the outside. I'm actually not going to fight it. I want to live through this opening lap. I don't want to crash out at T1, but maybe I've taken it too safely. Look at the gap that Schroeder's already pulled, and now I've got Jesus Gallego behind me in his Mercedes, shaping to the inside. He's going to be pushing me all the way up the hill and into T2 here. I'm going to have to take the outside line through this corner, hope that he gives me space on the outside here, and he does, and we're able to defend. I'm very, very happy indeed to have maintained position there, because it looked like Gallego had me done, and that would have been 2 positions lost off the start. And even though I am deliberately taking it just a little bit cautiously to make sure I don't get caught up in anything, I really don't want to be going that quickly backwards on this top split grid. Right then, we're into the mid part of the lap now, and you can see up ahead Leon Schroeder absolutely not hanging around. He's trying to stick a move around the outside of Willie TL up ahead in his McLaren, and it looks as if he's going to make it stick. What a fantastic pass from Schroeder, clearly taking advantage of other drivers just being a little bit tentative on cold tyres and cold brakes, and TL is clearly struggling hugely in that McLaren there. Bags of understeer, getting out very wide on the curbing, and that might give me a chance to close on in here. We're within a few tenths of a second coming into the double right-hander as we come to end this opening lap of the race. We're in 12th position, TL in 11th, and Schroeder up into the top 10. We managed to get the car through that very tricky final corner, but it looks as if TL got a slightly better drive off the curb than I was able to. Jesus Gallego behind, now drop back to around 0.7 seconds behind. We're into lap 2 then, and into T1 straight away. Very, very tricky corner, and it looks as if TL's made another mistake there up ahead, and there was a driver off to the right hand side. We'll check back what happened there in a moment, but for now I'm in the slipstream of Willie TL up the hill here and into T2, the best overtaking opportunity on the lap. It looks as if he's going defensive. He switches to the racing line. I'm gonna have a go down the inside here, but I'm just not far enough alongside, and unfortunately for me, I can't make that move stick. For now, let's take the opportunity to just have a little look at what happened to Snep Vangers in the BMW through T1 then, beginning the second lap of the race, and actually just lost the back end, gets up on the curbing, and that is his race ruined. We rejoin the live action then on lap 3, and I am still trying to put pressure on Willie TL up ahead in his McLaren, and then we've got Riccardo Molina in the BMW up ahead of him as Schroeder has continued to make progress up the grid. But speaking of progress, I'm going to try and force a move here into T1, not to get past, but to try and push TL into a mistake, and it looks like it nearly worked. He was right out onto the curbing there. He had to give a big steering correction to stop the car from oversteering. That has given me some momentum heading up the hill once again and into T2 here. We're going to be on the brakes as late as we can be here into the hairpin, but I'm just not close enough, and in the end I'm going to have to settle back in behind him along the top of the hill here and hope that an opportunity arises later in the lap or again into the next lap. But this is beginning to get just a little bit frustrating. I'm stuck here in 11th position. I know I've got the speed here for a top 10 finish. I can see the cars up ahead of me, and speaking of one of the cars up ahead of me, Riccardo Molina has made a mistake out on the curbing there. In fact, he might have even got into the gravel. That is going to give me a chance to get around his outside here, but he's just got an overlap. I can't close the move off through the corner. Another driver off to the right hand side. That's Zima. We're going to look back at that in a second. For now, I'm still trying to get this move on Willie TL done. We're through the left hander, and finally I've been able to break his resistance and make the move mine. There's 2 positions gained very, very quickly. Let's first take a look at the move on Molina around the outside here. He gives me space, which is fantastic to see, but he's not giving it up easily. He wants that inside line for the next corner at the bottom of the hill, but I'm able to carry more momentum through the corner nevertheless, despite being on the outside, keep it out the gravel, and that was the pass done. But up ahead, Schroeder pushed his luck one too many times. He pushes Zima out through the left-hander there, and he'll be really cross in the cockpit, I'm sure. We rejoin the live action then towards the midpoint of this race. We're on to lap 6 and I'm still stuck behind TL up ahead, but you can see Schroeder has come back into play. I don't know if he's carrying damage from that bit of contact, but it's now a three-way battle for P7 in this race, and if anything I've got the most pace of all of us at the moment, but I'm stuck. I have to try and find a way past here. You can see I'm right underneath the rear wing there of TL. I'm going to be on the inside of the left hander. He gives me some space. I'm going to have the more momentum coming out of the corner, but he's able to hold on for now at least. But I'm really trying to press home my advantage. Yes, we've made up a couple of spots from the start, but I want that 7th place finish at a minimum in this race if we can continue on at the speed that we are. But up ahead, TL clearly shaping for a move on Schroeder there. Schroeder struggling at this point of the race. If it's not damage, maybe he's cooked his tyres. But here goes TL. He's going to try and make a move down into T1. This could be it. He's all the way alongside him here then. Is he going to be able to hold it at the apex? They don't make contact. Schroeder settles in behind, but maybe TL just ran it out a little bit wide. Schroeder looks like he's got the best run off the corner. I am just tucking in behind here. I'm going to have to keep a very close eye on what's going on up ahead in case the two of them come together. I don't want to get caught up in anything. Oh, and it has happened. They are together. There's going to be an accident through the hairpin there, and it's Schroeder that pays the price. He's off, and that will be his race essentially over. We'll take a look back at it shortly, but for now I am hoping that this is going to lead to an opening of the door from TL. He must be a little bit rattled in the cockpit by that incident. I'm down the inside, very tricky braking zone here. TL has ran it in deep. He's given me space at the apex. We're going to be side by side on corner exit, but it looks as if he's just about held on so far, and he will have the high ground for the next 2 corners. I'm going to give him space on the inside. It still feels like he's side by side with me here. He gives me space on the exit curb. I'm going to try and hold it all the way around the outside here, but the odds are firmly stacked against me. In fact, the car understeers slightly, and unfortunately for now, I can't make the move stick. Let's take a look on replay though. What happened to Schroeder as the two came together in the braking zone? And I've got to say, from that angle, it's inconclusive. From this angle, it looks like TL just does not give him enough space. Schroeder turns in towards the apex, and unfortunately that is him out of the race. We rejoin exactly where we left off because I'm continuing to pile pressure on here towards the end of lap 7. The driver rejoining up ahead, but for now my full focus is on finally squeezing past TL, because look in the rear view mirror, the BMW from earlier in the race has reappeared. I've got to get this move done now, otherwise I'm going to be under pressure. We're side by side as we cross the start finish line, begin lap 8. I've got the high ground for the opening corner. I've just got to keep it neat and tidy, not give him a better exit from the corner, and yes, I'm able to make it happen, and we're through and up into 7th position. Here's a replay of it then, and I've got a decent overlap all the way down the start finish straight, and that ultimately was enough to make sure I could command the corner as we come through and start the next lap. I've got to be really careful though. I could have thrown it immediately away. I kept it off the exit curb and the place was mine. We're about to start lap 9 then. We're getting towards the final stages of this race, and look in the rear view mirror, a new driver has appeared. Dane Snadden, who's come right the way through the pack, is now challenging, and just as I clock that, I make a mistake into T1, the first mistake really that I've made all race, and that looks like it might cost me significantly. Snadden now pressuring in his Mercedes down my inside. He's going to have a big overlap into the hairpin at the top of the hill here. I'm going to have to run the outside line and hope that once again I can defend here, but oh, look at that, he's closed off any room. He almost runs me off the road entirely, and I've lost 2 positions. TL gets back past as well. Let's take another look at it on replay then, and I really want to hear from you in the comments as to what you make of this move. Is it a fair pass? I think it's probably just about alright, but he affords me 0 room on the outside, and I pay a very big price for it. We're on to the final lap then, and I've been able to get back onto the tail of TL up ahead, and actually Snadden has not disappeared either, so I've got just a few corners left to try and put pressure back on the 2 drivers up ahead, force a mistake of some kind and get back up into 8th or 7th position. Through the left-hander we go then, and just look at how close to Teo we are. Up ahead, I'm going to shape to the inside. I'm not close enough though, and this time he aggressively shuts the door. No running around the outside this time. He was confident that I didn't have an overlap, and he was right, but he's now snaking to try and break the toe through into the final two corners. There's no way past here unless Teo makes a mistake, so I'm not going to be surprised if he takes it very gently through these apexes, which he does. That affords me the chance to close right in, get a better exit from the final corner. I'm going to be closing in all the way to the line. There's going to be just a tenth or two in it, but unfortunately I'm going to run out of laps and I'm going to have to settle for 9th position. What a race this was. No, it didn't have the outcome ultimately that I was hoping for, but a solid top 10 finish in the top split here in the GT4 Challenge, and more than anything, just some fantastic side-by-side racing in that one. A few drivers probably pushing the limits there through that race. Some paid a very high price for doing so indeed. I hope you enjoyed the race. If you did, I'm sure you'll enjoy the one that's on screen now.